Good morning, everybody. Peter Ciccone, entrepreneurs across America. We're back in Nassau County here, and I am sitting with the man, the myth, the legend, Brian Lewis. And Brian is a guy, I've been on his podcast. He agreed to come on mine. And Brian is a man of so many different disciplines. It's really incredible, and I'm just going to list a few, and then we're going to talk about pretty much what he wants to talk about. Brian has a real estate team that also does title insurance. He is involved in a bar restaurant with his family. His family also owns an HVAC company, and where they do full service. And he just had a recent foray into local politics where he ran for a trustee of Malvern.
Yep.
So, Brian, welcome. Thank you for coming down. And let's talk. How you doing?
Thank you for having me on. It's great to talk again. We talked a couple months ago on my podcast, and it's fun to always talk about business and entrepreneurship.
We share that, you
yeah,
know,
it's,
and we're both like to think of ourselves as players on Long Island, I guess.
Yeah, it's there's a sea of average, I like to say, out there. People that just go to work every day, and that's fine. And then there's the people that aren't satisfied with that, and we gotta explore all different types of business and different opportunities. And a lot of it, I think, comes with helping people and surrounding yourself with the right people, the doers.
It's through helping I learn more.
100%. The more I interact with people, the more I connect with people, and again, trying to inspire people to be better, I get better myself at the same time.
You know, as I see other people strive, I try to surround myself with good people, and make friends with people like you who do it. Pushes me, but somebody, a friend of ours, said to me, he said, "You do something I wish I did more." And he said, "You've learned." He said, "It's not forgive people." He said, "I've seen you have differences with people, but then you overcome them, and you still do. You can still work very, very productively with them, even though they got you angry at one point." And I'm like, "It's business. It's not personal." And I said, everybody acts in business really in their own best self-interest, and that's that's a trick of life. And when you can appreciate what's the other person's motivation,
yes, 100%. You know where they're coming from.
You know where they're coming from, and then you can move forward.
Everyone's got a story going on in the background, whether it be a financial issue or a relationship, a divorce, whatever, sickness. Everyone's got their own battle in the background of some sort. Whether they have it or someone in their family has it. So people have different stuff in their life, and obviously that affects their actions and how they interact and how they do business and whatnot.
I see a guy like you who's everywhere. He does a million different things. But you have 7 kids?
6 kids. Let's not get carried away. It's only 6.
It's only 6.
And yes, my TV works.
But 6 kids, and you're in their lives.
Yeah. So 6 kids, 5 girls, ranging from 5 girls and a boy. My boy's the 4th in line. 5 to 15.
Poor son of a gun. He gets beaten up every day.
Yeah. So so it's interesting. Definitely busy.
Okay.
Definitely costs a lot of money. So it's
sure.
part of my drive to make money. But I've always been thinking outside the box. I've always been a builder, which building turns into building money, as far as buying and selling stuff. When I first started out younger in life, I used to buy and sell cars. I'd find a junk car, and my specialty was like under $1,000, like station cars. So I'd find them for 100, 200, 300, clean them up, fix them, make them run, make them drivable, and sell them for under 1,000. And I did that when I was 15, 16, 17. That's basically I financed buying a car and my life when I was younger, and that turned into flipping houses. Buying junk houses and making them new again and selling them, which eventually led into getting my real estate license and starting a real estate team, because I got my real estate license honestly just because when I was flipping houses I didn't want to pay commission on flipping houses, but then when I got my license I haven't flipped since, and I started a team because I'm always building. It's always you're always looking outside the box. What's next? What's the next opportunity out there? I never planned on starting a team. It was a matter of a couple of my friends said, "Hey, listen, I want to get into real estate." Okay, got them licensed, joined a team, they start selling, and next thing you know, I got a real estate team, But what it comes back down to is helping people. A friend of mine, Chris Whitehead, I just recently introduced you to in that group. He's got a term called go giving. And in life, we got to just be giving. No matter if someone wrongs us, if someone, just got to keep giving, and just got to keep giving. And if you live with that mindset of always giving and not taking, the world will give it back to you.
Sure,
You
sure.
know, so the more people you help, if you help 10 people out of those 10, not everyone's going to help you back,
No.
but maybe one will, you know. And so you got to just keep helping. It's law of averages. And
I think of it as I think of it as building karma.
Yeah.
You know, all right. On the one hand, you want to surround yourself with good people, but on the other hand, you want to surround yourself with an atmosphere of that guy's always helping other people, and then I think, I know it sounds quirky, but I believe the universe,
100%.
backs
You're
us.
putting money in the universe bank, you know,
Yeah,
and
and-
when you need it, it's there for you. And that's, I really believe in that. You know, it's just, you know what, it feels good to help people, you know. It's, in the real estate world, I explain I coach real estate, and when I coach it, I say, we're not selling, a bunch of 2x4s and some sheetrock. We're selling a life. We're selling, a family legacy. We're selling, or, so if someone's starting out, maybe it's a young family, starting out, they just got married, they're having kids, all this other stuff. Every holiday they're going to experience in a house. They're going to raise their kids in that house. If you think about growing up, what your house meant to you, it's something important. It's kind of special.
home.
It's kind of special to be that person that starts them out in a good path. And then on the other end of it, when grandma passes or mom and dad passes or whatever, and now you're selling that house of all the memories, and it's not just, again, 2x4s and wood. It's memories. It's feelings. It's a lot more. When you approach it like that, it's a whole different world.
You said something to me the other day, and we had on the show just recently Bob Deacon, who does the clean outs of houses that go on the market, and he said people need to be able to picture themselves in the home. Yes. And he said making it clean and putting
Clean
it
and neat sells houses.
But
Smells good.
you
Everything.
talked about putting cookies in the oven
Yeah.
and things like that, where it's a smell, where you're not selling a house, you're selling a home. And there's a big difference.
Yeah.
A home and a house are different.
Yes,
a home
yeah.
is where you want to live. A house is
some wood. Yeah, it's like
it's a building, is a piece of real estate, and but a home is where you want to live and want to be, and a home is where the heart is, right?
100%.
And that's what you're trying. So how is the real estate market right now? What are we looking
the
at?
real estate market is still strong. Everyone's waiting for the big crash. I don't see a crash coming. No one, anyone in the know doesn't really see a crash coming.
Why not?
Because a lot of people refinance. I think they said 70% of the people out there have a 3% or less rate. If you have a 3% mortgage rate, you're not going to sell your house to go bigger and get a 6 or 7% mortgage rate. Just not going to do it. So I think there may be a boom for contractors, because I think a lot of people, rather than sell that house and go get a big rate to get a bigger house, they'll just make the house bigger. So that's my idea. Is I think it's going to benefit the contractors. But in the real estate world, people aren't selling because they're not trading up, or if they are trading up,
Are they building
they're
new houses?
around here. Yeah, I mean across the country, I hear it's slowing down a little bit. But in this world, in New York, we're overcrowded. We just talked about the traffic coming here this morning. I mean, it's just, especially Long Island, it's so overcrowded. There's a lack of housing. I just sold 2 houses in the last week. Both of them over asking price. One in Elmont, one in Malvern. Over asking price. They're not sold. They're going to contract. But I mean, people lined up to buy them.
And what's the magic range? And I know a few years ago somebody said that $500,000 to $700,000 house, they were selling all day, every day. Once you got a little bit above that, where on Long Island the taxes just get stupid into the $20,000 range on taxes. They weren't selling. $1 million homes weren't going at all. But $600,000, $700,000.
I mean, here everything's selling, but that's definitely still a hot spot. You think about people can afford whatever $3,500 a month. That equates to this amount of taxes, this amount of mortgage. As the rate adjusts.
Okay.
But the thing is that there's so many people that are still trying to buy that. Maybe the $700,000 buyer is now a $600,000 buyer, but there's still 100 buyers out there.
Okay.
So they're just moving down a class in what house they're buying, but they're still out there and they still haven't bought a house yet. So.
Okay.
It's
so you're busy.
It's yes and no. So the volume's down because no one's selling.
Okay.
But when I do get them, they sell quick. It's,
So the inventory, you have less inventory.
Yeah,
but
it's
you have
less
buyers.
inventory. Prices are still high.
Okay.
I have buyers. Working
But
with
less
buyers trying to get
inventory
houses.
affects the prices.
So the prices are up, supply and demand, basic
Okay,
supply and
sure.
demand. So everyone waiting for that housing crash, I don't see it. I mean, I don't see it. It's whenever there's a lack of inventory, now is that affecting other stuff? I'm sure, down the
Now,
road.
let me ask you a question. And is Long Island a separate market? distinct from the rest of the country, where what you just said, we have a shortage of inventory, so we're going to have a strong market for a while. But what's happening in Ohio could be completely different. You know,
What I'm hearing, it's pretty much across the country, in all the city areas of the country.
Okay.
You know, I think when it, kind of more rural and they're building these housing
Yeah.
complexes, I think from what I'm hearing, the builders are slowing down.
All right.
But in I have a lot of friends across the country. I'm involved in a couple of big entrepreneur groups.
Yeah.
One out of Texas, one out of New Hampshire, and so in my network, I'm a ton of realtors, and just in my company, we're a worldwide company. So there's a lot of interaction with other agents, and everyone's pretty much still busy. It's
Okay.
anywhere where there's a demand.
Okay, so you're saying you don't see a housing crash coming?
I don't see it. It's not. Everyone's
Okay.
thinking like it's back in '08 or whatever. That was an inflated mortgage crisis. They gave people money that shouldn't have got money. That's not really what's going on right now. People are coming in now. A lot of houses are buying cash, which is, I don't know where they're getting the cash from, but people are coming in buying houses cash. They're putting 25% down, 20% down. They keep the
When you say buying
payment
cash,
down.
100% or 25%?
100%. Some of them.
100%.
Well, not obviously green
Yeah.
cash, but
Yeah.
but no mortgage.
No mortgage.
Coming out of another house or
Okay.
coming out of equity, maybe out of something else, but they're coming in and buying these houses. It's pretty unbelievable, and that's the best way to win a house. That's the other thing that's going on. I think people that figured it out, cash always wins. If I got a 700 mortgage offer and maybe I got a 690 cash offer, we're gonna go with that cash offer because that's a short thing. There's no
Yeah.
mortgage, there's no appraisal, there's no nothing that could go wrong. So
Cash is
there's
still king.
it's still a 99% chance it's going to it's going to close. With a mortgage, there's variables. If it doesn't appraise, or they go lose their job right before they close on the house. So
Well, no, I mean, I know
it's
also
always-
some people, especially with the rental property market, they'll take the mortgage, if they pay off their primary residence, they'll take the mortgage out of their primary
Yeah.
residence because it's lower taxes,
Yep.
but they'll buy that rental property
Yep.
full cash.
full cash, and then sometimes they'll pull the equity out of that and buy another one, pull the equity out and keep
keep going and
keep
going and
doing
going.
it. It's a house of cards though. If when I did that myself back in '08 when everything crashed, I had a bunch of rentals where I was basically doing that. I was mortgaging one to mortgage another one, and the cash flow was great, and until it wasn't, and then I had all these mortgages to pay and no cash flow because I was basically evicting all the tenants because no one was paying. So that was a tough thing. I had 37 doors at one point of rental,
Okay.
and it was great when it was great, and it was bad when it was bad. Yeah, when
When it
everyone
was
stopped
great, it was
paying,
great.
when everyone was paying the rent, it was great. And then when everyone stopped paying the rent, they'd move in for a month or two, and then we'd have to evict them, and then renovate again, and then move in for a month or two and evict them, and it was just
You
endless
just
cycle.
summarized in two or three sentences entrepreneurship in general. When it's great, it's great. When it's bad, but it's all about cash flow.
Yep.
And but you learn from your mistakes too.
Yep, yep.
Okay, I mean, I've seen in the restaurant business many times, I've seen guys go from a 200-seat restaurant to a 20-seat restaurant. And they will all tell you, people who've done that in the restaurant business, smaller is better, it's more profitable. To pay the rent in a 20-seat restaurant, you have to sell a lot less than in a 200-seat restaurant.
Yep.
I mean, approximately 10 times less.
Yep.
You have less staff.
Yep.
You have less other
Yeah, insurance and
your
maintenance,
insurance,
and,
your maintenance, your electricity,
electric, everything. Yeah,
the refrigerator, and again, your labor costs are always your highest. It just takes fewer people. The amount of food you're buying is all less, and you're still selling it for the same price as the other guy. As when you had the 200-seat restaurant, you just need fewer people to make all your expenses and to clear all your expenses. And Brian, hey, how do people get in touch with you?
Are you ready?
How do people get in touch with you?
You can find me at brianlewisjr.com, so BrianLewisJr.com. I got a website there. You got all my social media on there. You got my podcast on there. You got I've been a bunch of stuff on there. So get to my real estate page from there. So that's the quickest way to get me. If you're on Instagram at Brian Lewis Realtor, find me, follow me, and we'll interact. If you've got any questions, again, I do business coaching, real estate coaching, a little bit of life coaching, whatever you guys need. I've been through it all. Done a lot in my life, and I try and help everyone along the way get through
Like
their
I
life.
said, the man, the myth, the legend. This is Brian Lewis. He's been everywhere. He's done everything, and if it happens on Long Island, he knows about it. Knows about it before I do. So, Brian, thank you
Yes,
again.
thank you, sir. Thanks for having me
My
on.
pleasure.
All right.